Today we're going to learn how to make a booklet out of a sheet of paper. Before we get started, there's a couple of things that are helpful to know about books in general. The book was invented by the Coptics, a group of Egyptian Christians during the 2nd century. Before the Coptic binding, people mostly used scrolls, Nag Hammadi binding, which was the father of the Coptic binding, or palm leaf manuscripts. Scrolls made it easy to add content at the end, but was really cumbersome to get stuff in the middle. Nag Hammadi were easier to go through, but if you added pages later, you'd end up with blank ones at the front. Plus, the spine ended up rounded and bulky. What the Coptics did differently was create a small group of pages called signatures. These groups could then be sewn together to create a text block. If you needed more pages, you could just add another signature. This also made it so that the pages were compressed more efficiently and would take up less space to store as well. It took a few more centuries before someone added a spine to protect the sewing, but other than that, books haven't really changed since the 2nd century. Most hardcover books are still sewn, and paperback books just replace the sewing with glue. Now, how to turn a sheet of paper into a booklet. We're going to learn 2 different ways to make a booklet, the accordion booklet and the pants booklet. Both of them start out the same way though. So, step 1, fold the paper into 8 sections. These sections will become the pages. Here are some helpful tips for folding. Work on a clean, flat surface. Work mindfully and carefully. It will save you time in the long run. Also, slide and stack the edges for more precise folds. Crease folds from the middle out to the edges. Press and fold with fingers first, then with a bone folder. If the folds end up backwards, you can always reverse them. For the booklets, reverse along the center folds several times. This will make the next step easier. Here are the next steps for the accordion booklet. Step 2. Tear along the longest middle fold. Remember, you'll want to reverse this fold several times to make it easier to tear. For the accordion booklet, you will want to tear it all the way to the end, so you end up with 2 pieces. Each piece is now a signature. Step 3. Join the signatures. So the pages end up straight, open the signatures so they are flat. Pick the top or bottom edge to align and make sure they are level. Add tape to the back so it's hidden. I'm using masking tape, but something archival is best. Also, keep a hair's width gap between the signatures. It's very small, but important because it leaves room for the paper to hinge. Step 4. Collapse the pages. This one is simple. All you need to do is start at one end and zigzag the pages back and forth. It'll end up looking kind of like the musical instrument the booklet gets its name from, the accordion. Remember, if folds are backwards, you can always just reverse them. Here's an alternative way to tear down the middle. I'm using a plastic ruler, but you can always use a letter opener or even the back edge of a butter knife. The trick is to keep everything flat and taut. It might take some practice to get it. This also shows you what the pages can look like with print on them as well. The pants booklet, step 2. This one is similar to the accordion, but instead of tearing all the way down the center, you are going to stop and leave the bottom 2 pages connected. By the way, can you tell how this one got its name? Step 3. Collapse the pages. With this structure, you only end up with 1 signature and is a little trickier to fold. First, fold your pants in half. Next, make the legs do the splits, then zigzag each leg to the center. Remember, if the pages are backwards, you can always reverse your folds. Here's what the pants booklet can look like with print on it as well. You always want to make sure your first page is in the top left corner. If you mess up and tear from the wrong side, you can always tape it back together like you do when joining signatures. To connect pant signatures, you basically do the same thing you did for the accordion signatures. Make sure both are facing the same direction, flip them over so the back is facing up, line them up but leave the smallest of gaps between them. Apply the tape and collapse the pages. Remember, a text block is what you get when you assemble multiple signatures. If you are going to make a cover, you will want to do these things. 1. Check the page order. When everything is collapsed, you should be looking at the back of the first page. This is where the glue will go to attach it to your cover, so nothing important should be there. I'll sometimes lightly write my name in pencil or the title of the booklet on the outside so I don't have to open it to check it. 2. Do a final check on alignment of the pages and crease them. Precise alignment makes it easier to turn the pages. If the pages are shifted a little, you can adjust how they are stacked on top of each other and just carefully force them into alignment with the final creasing of the folds. If it's way off, you may want to go back and adjust your taping between signatures. And last but not least, 3. Let text block sit under weight for 24 hours. This helps the pages compress even more by giving the fibers in the paper a chance to relax. You can see the difference just 3 hours made in the text block on the right. They both have the same number of pages. So there you have it, how to go from a sheet of paper to a book. All you need is a cover, but that's for another video.